Hello and welcome. You know I am an old chap now living in sunny Thailand, far from the foggy streets of London, but the ghosts of British digital disasters still haunt me like a bad curry night. Have you heard of the Brit Card? No? Well, it is a modern twist on the classic disaster, cooked up by none other than Tony Blair. Yes, that Tony Blair, the chap who just will not let go. Imagine the government wants to carry around your entire life story on a tiny card, or worse, a digital app on your phone. Sounds like something out of a dystopian novel. Oh, it is worse. It is Blair's legacy. Grab a cuppa and let me tell you how Britain tried to turn every citizen into walking ID cards before the whole thing spectacularly flopped, and then came back like a bad soap opera sequel. If you think tracking your parcels online is intrusive, wait until you hear about the time the UK almost made tracking its own people compulsory. Spoiler alert, it did not end well. Well, now settle down, as here is a story that will make you wonder if British politicians ever learn. From Tony Blair to Starmer, the Brit Card's one heck of a boomerang. However, let me take you back to the early 2000s in cloudy old Blighty, where Prime Minister Tony Blair dreamed up a plan so ambitious it could have rivaled the invention of the wheel. This plan? The Brit Card, or rather its ancestor, a biometric national ID card. Originally the brainchild of Tony Blair's government, a shiny biometric identity card meant to streamline life in Britain. The idea was to have your fingerprints, your biometric data, your entire official record all snugly stored in one place, easily accessible to, well, the government. Because you see, Mr. Blair thought in his infinite wisdom that this would make everything from welfare fraud to terrorism easier to tackle. Sounds practical on paper, yes. Nevertheless, oh, the devil is in the details. You see, back then, Britain was a different place. Cell phones were just becoming smart, and the internet was still figuring out what it wanted to be. Blair's dream was ahead of its time, or some might say ahead of his own common sense. The problem? The whole thing stank of Big Brother spying on everyone. A real rear-ender for civil liberties. People were not keen on the idea of a government database that monitored their every move, or their fingerprints at least. You could say privacy campaigners had a field day, while the public largely shrugged and said, "No thanks, love." Technological challenges piled up like dirty plates after a curry house rush. Create a safe, unhackable digital fortress for millions of Britons' private data. That was the promise, but reality soon proved it to be anything but. Early pilots saw glaring holes, risks of data theft, identity forgery, and bureaucratic mess that even the most patient of civil servants wince. What's more, you are right if you think that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Therefore, fast forward a few years and the coalition government that followed Blair dumped the whole shebang. Theresa May, yes, that Theresa May, then Home Secretary, called it an intrusive scheme and pulled the plug quicker than you can say National Identity Register. The whole thing became the political equivalent of your embarrassing uncle at a wedding. No one quite knows what to do with it, and it is quietly pushed out the door. Nevertheless, wait, here is where the plot thickens. Fast forward to 2025 and guess what? The Brits, now led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, are dusting off that very same idea. Only now it has a new shiny name, the Brit Card. This time the plan is mandatory digital ID card for all adults residents in the UK, designed to crack down on illegal immigration and supposedly bring the British state into the 21st century. Sounds familiar, does it not? Like a rerun of a bad TV show. Similar cast, slightly different script, and the same questionable plot. Public reaction? Well, if you thought the original scheme was unpopular, the new Brit Card is facing a storm of protest with millions signing petitions and civil liberties groups banging on about privacy and government surveillance because some things never change. Now, do not get me wrong, the world has changed a bit since Blair's day. We live online, we all, well, some of us bank online, and we even order our food with a tap. Therefore, the case for digital ID has a thread of common sense, right? Identity verification is vital in this digital world. However, here is the kicker. It is all about how you do it. If you shove data into a central government prison without robust safeguards, transparency, or a proper conversation with the public, you are asking for trouble. Furthermore, Brits remember Blair's mess, so this old grumpy man has every reason to be sceptical. One little known twist to this tale is the Blair family connection. Tony Blair's son, Isaan Blair, heads a company that seems poised to cash in on the new Brit Card tech's rollout. Coincidence? Maybe. On the other hand, maybe the ghost of Blair's policies and cash flow is more alive than most imagine. Therefore, what can we learn from this digital drama? First, do not expect techno-utopia from a rushed government project. Serious respect for privacy and security is non-negotiable. Secondly, public buy-in is everything. Do not shove this tech mess down people's throats without clear answers. Lastly, never underestimate the staying power of a bad idea dressed up in shiny tech jargon. Before I go back to my quiet life here in Thailand, sipping my tepid tea and grumbling about the heat, think on this. The Brit Card shows us an important lesson about how government technology and people's freedoms can trip over each other in spectacular fashion. In a world desperate for security and convenience, let us hope the next time they try a scheme like this they will learn from the past, or at least ask an grumpy old man like me before diving in headfirst. On top of that, just when you thought the government had finally learned its lesson, oh no, they are now debating if you will even need to carry this digital ID. Carry it? Nah, just shove it on your phone, because nothing says secure like a digital identity you could lose faster than your bus pass. So there you have it, the tale of the Brit Card, an idea ambitious as a cat on a hot tin roof, doomed by its own overreach and never-ending love affair with surveillance technology. The moral? When it comes to your identity and privacy, do not let anyone rush you into a new silver bullet, especially if it is the same old script served with a digital twist. Now, pass me that mango smoothie and let us hope the next big idea is a bit less, I don't know, and a lot more perspective. So, if you have an opinion on the Brit Card debacle or stories about government tech blunders, share it down below. Please hit that like button if you enjoy a good grumpy rant, and do not forget to subscribe for more tales from an old grumpy Englishman's exile in Thailand. Bye bye.